Well, a film with local ties, Watershed, will be shown in the Eastern Sierra this week. Free screenings Thursday in Mammoth Lakes and Friday in Independence. Now, the local tie is Forrest Pound. Grew up in the Owens Valley and is a former employee with us here at Sierra Wave. We talked to Forrest about Watershed, which was executive produced and narrated by Robert Redford and directed by award-winning filmmaker Mark DeSena. Watershed, according to the liner notes on the DVD, tells the story of the threats to the once mighty Colorado River and offers solutions for the future of the American West. Now, as the most dammed, dibbed, and diverted river in the world struggles to support 30 million people, and the peacekeeping agreement known as the Colorado River Pact reaches its limits, Watershed introduces hope. Now, can we meet the needs of a growing population in the face of rising temperatures and lower rainfall in an already arid land? Ask those liner notes. Can we find harmony amongst the competing interests of cities, agriculture, industry, recreation, wildlife, and indigenous communities with rights to water? Sweeping through 7 U.S. and 2 Mexican states, Colorado River is a lifeline to expanding populations and booming urban centers that demand water for drinking, sanitation, and energy generation. And with 70% of the river's water supporting agriculture, the river already runs dry before it reaches its natural end at the Gulf of California. Now, unless action is taken, the river will continue its retreat, a potentially catastrophic scenario for the millions who depend on it. Now, the Redford Center created Watershed as an inspirational social action tool for people who want to engage, promoting personal water conservation pledges of 5%, symbolic of the small amount of the river's flow required to reconnect the river to its delta, and garnering donations to help purchase the water rights necessary to restore the connectivity. Watershed is a central tool in a larger grassroots effort focused on saving the Colorado River and supporting the communities throughout the river basin. And as we said, we had a chance to talk with Forrest Pound, associate producer of Watershed. Forrest, tell us how you got involved with making of Watershed.
Sure. So I work for a production company called Content Films based here in San Francisco, and we were approached by the Redford Center, which is Robert Redford's activist organization, to make a film about water in the Colorado River Basin. Both a hopeful film and a film that, teaches us something about the way water is used in that basin. Our 7 characters kind of span that whole region, and also the different ways that water is used. So we were approached by them, and a few years later, we finished the film.
And when did the film get finished?
It finished, we premiered it last March at the DC Environmental Film Festival.
Now, how many times has it been shown around the country, and do you travel with it?
I've been lucky to travel with it a few times, both within the country and internationally, I guess you can call it, at the Banff Mountain Film Festival. It has been shown at, I believe, 38 film festivals and over 250 community screenings, like the ones in Mammoth and in Independence. Basically, any community organization can contact us and get a copy of the film to screen with their community.
Very nice, and I know you're coming over for those. Did you get to meet Robert Redford during the film?
I did, yes. Not actually during the filmmaking process, but at the premiere, he was there, and so we had a very nice dinner with him in front of the White House. So.
Very cool. Now, Forrest, coming up here on Thursday and Friday, going to be showing that, and you're going to be here in the Eastern Sierra for that, aren't you?
I will be, yeah. I'll be at both screenings.
Could be a good panel discussion. I know Thursday in Mammoth, you're also going to do something like that in Independence?
Yeah, probably a Q&A afterwards.
Very nice. Forrest, you used to work with us here at the Sierra Wave. We always knew you were going to go on to big things. What have you done since you left here several years ago?
Yeah, it's been a number of years, hasn't it? I went to college at the University of San Francisco for media studies and journalism, kind of pursuing the direction that I had while there at the Sierra Wave. I almost called it K-Day, of course, back in the day. But yeah, so I went to school, and then I've been working for this production company for about 3 years, and I love it. We do some really cool work, and it's a great group of people.
Well, you're listed as an associate producer. What does that mean? What did you do?
A bit of everything. So I started off working basically casting the film, finding 5 of those 7 different characters that I talked about earlier, and then went on the production, built a sort of special time-lapse rig that took time-lapses over the course of several months to show seasonal change, so the draining of Lake Powell or snow melt in the Rockies, that sort of a thing. Went on the production. It was a 6-week road trip up and down the Delta,
wow.
From the headwaters to the Delta, and then was involved in the editing process. Did a little animation as well. So.
Wow. All right. Well, Forrest, we're all dang proud of you here, and looking forward to seeing you when you get into town this week. And I know a lot of folks are looking forward to see Watershed. Sounds like a great and, well, inspiring film, too.
Thank you. Yeah. That is our hope, that it teaches us all about, a little bit of water, and of course, the Owens Valley has its own deeply personal water story. So,
right. Yeah. Forrest, thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you this week.
Thanks. Look forward to seeing you too.
Thanks.
Well, we thank Forrest Pound for that. The film Watershed will be shown Thursday at the Edison Theater in Mammoth Lakes, starting with an introduction by Forrest at 5:30 p.m., the film screening at 6, and a panel discussion at 7 with panel members, author David Carley, Forrest Pound, filmmaker Jenna Cavell, and Big Pine Tribal environmental technician Jackie Velasquez. Friday, Watershed will screen at the Independence Legion Hall at 7 p.m. You can call for more information at 760-878-0258. Really looking forward to seeing Forrest, and again, great job by our former employee here, Forrest Pound. Well, you might have seen a few dozen motorcyclists in the Eastern Sierra Saturday. It was the Run for the Run, Vietnam veterans riding their motorcycles down from Washington State and going 395 en route to Rancho Cucamonga and then heading to Washington, D.C. for the Run for the Wall. Now, the group was escorted into Bishop by law enforcement, and the Bishop Volunteer Fire Department had a large American flag to greet the riders. People lined the streets as the motorcyclists came through the city of Bishop. The group did stop for lunch at Denny's before resuming the ride to Southern California, where approximately 1,500 Vietnam veterans will be leaving for a 12-day trip to Washington, D.C. for the annual Run for the Wall ride. Now, this is the 25th annual Run for the Wall ride. On Memorial Day, the group will be meeting up at the Pentagon for a demonstration ride through the Washington Mall and ending up at the Vietnam Memorial Wall. Now, once in D.C., the run will join the Rolling Thunder ride. Now, last year, there were approximately 700,000 motorcyclists from all over the country and the world. And we'd like to thank retired Mammoth police officer and Vietnam veteran Jim Gustafson for the information, and we salute the motorcyclists in the Run for the Wall. We'll be back with more news.